Okay, let's see if the Oculus mirror is still functional. In the meantime, what is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless wonder, the man Lincoln Clay, and we are back with a live stream of LeMans Ultimate. Okay, the Oculus mirror is functional. So we've got 8 minutes before I jump into my session, and so I will use that 8 minutes to talk about a couple of things, starting with the PlayStation VR on PC. I was planning to stream that, but problem number one, I was unable to get a PC adapter, but there was an alternative, and that was the 2070 GPU that I had laying around. And so I put that in one of my computers because the 2000 series cards and some AMD cards have the virtual link port. In other words, in simple terms, they have a USB-C port on the GPU. That would allow me to plug the PSVR 2 directly into the GPU, and with the use of the PlayStation PC app, I was able to play games, Steam games, through my PlayStation VR headset, and the experience was not good. You know what? Okay, I have to keep it like that so I can see who's saying what. So yeah, the experience was not good. The majority, I've tested 6 games. For the most part, the games either looked okay or not okay. And none of them ran very good. But in all fairness, I'm only doing that on a 2070, and back in the PSVR days, when PSVR was in its heyday, a lot of people had 2070s, 2060s, and a lot of these games required a 2080 to run them. So like Half-Life Alyx, Medal of Honor, those type of games required a 2080 to get the best experience out of them. So that's just the way it was back then. You know, fast forward to now, a lot of these cards can handle those games with no problems whatsoever. The problem is today's cards no longer have the USB-C port in them, so hence we have to use the PC adapter. And looks like these PC adapters sold out pretty quick. I personally think that Sony probably manufactured less than 50,000 of them, and they probably sold out
Samurai Beast
instantly.
Warrior said, "Crap gamer need to stop crying."
I haven't watched a Crap Gamer video in so long. I mean, anybody who watches that stuff must just enjoy watching a troll or watching a guy who lies. You know, I got caught up in that when I first came to YouTube. I got caught up in the lies the Crap Gamer was telling, and I even made a video about him saying that I thought he needed help with all these lies and stuff like that. But I understand it. You know, people trying to get that YouTube money, and some people do it through shock value and console warring. So that's who Crap Gamer is. That's who he will always be. So, but I walked away from that kind of stuff a long time ago. I'm a VR sim racer, so I don't, you know, I definitely don't even entertain console wars on this channel. I might speak about Microsoft or Sony in particular if they do something that I think is egregious. But the console war, you know, I already see enough of it on Twitter, so I definitely don't bring it to my channel. But yeah, Crap Gamer is a veteran at what he does. So the other thing, I got 5 minutes left that I want to talk about is dirty driving. In sim racing and in LeMans Ultimate in particular, every sim has dirty drivers, and it seems certain sims have certain type of dirty drivers. And with I think Forza being the exception, those guys will do whatever it takes to get you out of the way. So anything goes with Forza. So they might be the dirtiest, or a case could be made that the GT7 drivers are the dirtiest, but they take you out a certain way. They'll run into the back of you and knock you off the track, or if you get on the side of them, they will bump you and knock you off the track. In the case of Assetto Corsa Competizione, one tactic is not dirty, but is negligent and ill-advised, is the dive bombing. They'll miss their brake markers and lock up the wheels and fly right off the track. It might take somebody with them, and then here comes the apologies. Oh, I'm sorry, yada yada yada. The other dirty move that they will do is the pit maneuver, where they get behind you and they just nick your back bumper and send you into a spin. The veterans will do that, especially the ones that's trying to do this last to first stuff. If you don't get out of their way and you take too long to get out of their way, they will pit maneuver you and get you out of the way. But the LeMans Ultimate dirty drivers are a different breed. The dirty stuff they do doesn't happen wheel to wheel. It happens after the fact. For the most part, during the races, most drivers on LeMans Ultimate are clean drivers. It's when something bad happens to them that they get dirty. So, case in point, somebody spins out, goes off the track, hits the wall, their race is over, they're upset. So they want to ruin someone else's race by parking their car in the middle of the track at a spot where you don't see it until the last second. So you're coming around a corner or over a hill and you see a car in front of you, and you basically have no time to react, and you either hit that car that's on the track or you swerve to avoid it, you go off the track yourself, hit the wall, now your race is ruined. So those type of dirty drivers on LeMans Ultimate set out to ruin other people's race because theirs was ruined. So with LeMans Ultimate, when you're racing wheel to wheel next to somebody, as long as you respect each other, everything's okay. But in my case, I have to listen to the crew chief engineer because he'll say, you know, incident in sector 2 or something. When I hear that, then I already know when I get to sector 2, be prepared for a car to be possibly parked on the track because they're pissed off that their race got ruined. So I think lastly, because we got a minute and a half left, I did a daily race earlier, and I was in 6th place, and wouldn't you know it, a few meters before I got to the finish line, my car ran out of fuel. I miscalculated how much fuel to put in the car. I put enough for 11 laps, but the race was actually 12 laps. So I know next time going into this session, I will put enough fuel in the car for 14 or even 15 laps. I want to make sure I have enough fuel for the race and a cool down lap if I decide to do it. And I think that is all I got. And the race starts in less than a minute. So today's Friday. At the moment, I am still planning to keep with the schedule and do a GT7 daily race tomorrow morning. And I think that might be all I have at the moment. Oh, one other piece of sim racing news. The developers of Rensport have announced that Rensport is coming to Steam. That is huge news because a lot of people do not like the Epic Store where Rensport is at the moment. And with it coming to Steam, that's definitely going to boost the user base. That's going to be huge. So let me close that window until we get to the session. And here we are. So let's get the setup here. I think 6 laps will be enough. And I'm not liking this position. All right, that's better. Let's go. Put it on quali. I think last time I streamed, I mentioned that I think the developers may have tweaked the physics a little bit because I have not been able to break into the 139s on this track. Whereas when this game first launched, I was hitting one.
If its exit looks clear, we need to get some heat into these brakes.
I would hit a 139 when I was having a bad lap. I believe I was setting like 138s, maybe even a 137. But now, yes, it's tough. If you get to the way things are now, if you can get into the 139s, you know, you got a chance to finish in the top 5. If you set laps in the 138s, you got a chance to win the race.
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. Yellow flag in sector 3. We think P2's binned it.
Man, I love this game so much. in that corner.
That's the end of the session, P3.
I think I was on my way to having a good lap. Oh, something else I didn't mention, that the last session that I did, although I ran out of fuel right before the finish line, I did...
It exit is clear. Don't cross the line. We've got 5 minutes to get a decent lap in. Your brakes are cold. Let's get some heat into them.
I did get my gold safety rating. Now I can compete in any event on this sim.
Clear right. Clear left. Fastest lap for Cooper, 140.24.
Time 140.
E3. That's a new fastest lap for Muller, 139.53. Two minutes to go, 2 minutes. You're a 10th off in Sector 1. Sector 2 is 0.34 off the pace. P6, Sector 3 is 0.6 off the pace. New fastest lap for Ilion, 139.30. That's the end of the session, E6.
This lap is over. It's not going to be a good lap. All I can do is just take whatever I'm going to get. Yeah, it's over. Let's just keep it clean so we don't get any negative marks for quali. Because you get the quali, you gain or lose points because game expects you to qualify at a certain position.
Time 143.28.
It expects you to qualify in the upper or the lower half of the grid. It also expects you to finish in the upper or lower half of the grid. It also expects you to finish at a specific position. And if you don't meet any of those requirements, you will lose points. When it comes to qualifying,
teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
Make sure we got enough fuel in the car. 15 laps, that'll be enough. So when it comes to your safety rating, even during qualifying, if you go off the track, you will get negative marks for going off the track. So with this game, building up your safety rank is not hard at all. Just keep your car on the track. Don't make contact with anybody and keep your car on the track. It's the driver rank that's harder because you're expected to meet you're expected to qualify and finish in certain positions.
Formation lap has started.
So I qualified 7th. It looks like 6th, 7th. No, looks like I qualified 8th. That might be enough to be considered in the top half, because you will get points for qualifying in the top half and lose points for qualifying in the bottom half. So yeah, I qualified 8th. But we'll find out at the end of this race whether that whether that's the top half or the bottom half.
Go, go, go! Car right side's clear.
Look at ugly, turn 1. I can see it already. There's a guy swerving all over the place. This is going to get nasty.
Clear right. Clear right. Sector 1 is yellow.
Just like I figured.
Sector 1 is green. Nice start. Yellow flag, caution. Green flag, sector 3. It looks like Ian has stacked it.
That time was a 1.
P6. That's 20 minutes to go. The leader has just done a 139.00.
That time was a 141.58.
The stewards have warned us for cutting the track. Keep it between the white lines. Yellow flag. We think Beeman has crashed. Sector 3 is clear.
Why's he going into the pits? I'm not complaining, but
Lap 140.8.
P5, awesome stuff, mate. Keep it coming. Defend your position, don't let him through. Sector 1 is yellow. We think that Franzel has crashed. Franzel is now retired. Sector 1 is green. Well, that was at 140.55. 15 minutes left. Nail every corner. Let's take whatever chances we can. You've just done a 114.82. Clear right. Come on, don't let him get away. The car ahead is... I really don't know. The gap behind is now 1.0. That's half distance. You're looking good for fuel. You're all over the place. Come on, man, get your head back together. 6th place. The guy in front is Cooper. Relax, focus, keep it smooth. That's halfway.
And there it is.
He's all over you. Keep your exit speeds up, stay smooth. Just done a 142.36. 10 minutes to go, that's 10 minutes left. Yellow flag in Sector 2. Sector 2's green. Seeing some minor car, clear right.
I take the blame on that one. I could have backed out.
The gap to Gutling ahead is increasing. It's now 0.8. 10th position. Come on, we can do better than this. Focus on your exits. Keep it smooth. That's half fuel. You've used half your fuel. Sector 1, yellow flag. Green flag in Sector 1. We can see Muller has binned it.
That time was a 1:41.51.
The gap to Gutling in front is now 1.2 seconds.
Damn it, a little bit late.
That's 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes.
There's some cars up there getting ready to fight. One of them goes off the track, I can at least get a freebie.
That time was a 1:41.86.
Craig the tech guy said, "Is this Mass Effect?"
Sure is. And it might be a Mass Effect from all these cars fighting in front of me if there's a wreck.
The guy in front is, I don't know. The gap to Beeman behind is now 7.2, P10. That lap was a 1:41.00. Right, the guy ahead of us is, I can't pronounce the name, mate. Yellow flag in Sector 1.
Probably gonna get a track warning for that.
Beeman has retired from the race. You've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining. Green flag Sector 1, just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go.
That dude refuses to give up that spot.
73.05.
One more lap to go.
73.
Almost rear-ended him. There we go, we got him, we got him, we got him! No, we don't. We didn't get him, damn it.
10th position. There we go, it's over. Bring it back round. Okay, pit stop requested.
Woo! Hey, 10th place. I fought to my last breath, but I was in, I think I was, at one point, I was in 5th place. And when I touched that other car and spun out, I paid a terrible price for it. So my lap times actually, see, 138, 139, 139.9. So I was the fastest lap. I was about a second and a half off that pace. My fastest lap was a 140.5. So if I would have been able to maintain that, I would have finished up in that 5th or 6th place where I was at before I spun out. Man. Good race, though. Well, So yeah, I took a hit, but not that hard of a hit. My safety rank, I'm not terribly worried about that. So right here, what? It says it expected me to qualify first, and I actually qualified 8th. Expected you to finish first. They expected me to win this race. Expected you to finish first, actually finished 10th. I have never had that happen before, where I was expected to set the pole and win the race. I came up well short. Man, oh man. So there's my career stats. I got 1 win, 8 podiums. But I got top 5s. I got 15 top 5s. But I also got a lot of DNFs. A couple of them came from the game crashing on me, but a lot of them came from me getting wrecked, and I just didn't see the point in going on. So let's see what we got here. I could do this session right here. The 1 stint sprint. Let's see, is there a mandatory pit stop in here? There are a few GTEs in here. This is a 35-minute race. I think we should do it. This is going to be a mixed class race, so there's going to be hypercars flying past me. Let's register. So this is hypercar in GTE. No P2s. This race is going to be 35 minutes. What I don't know is, because I'm going to put enough gas in the car. Let me see, this is a 35-minute race. I've been turning in 220s. So 10 laps. I think I'm going to need about 20 laps worth of fuel. Because, yeah, 35-minute race with me turning in 2 minutes and 20-second laps, some occasional some 219s, especially if I decide to go to the medium tires. 2 minutes and 20 seconds, 16, 17, 18 laps of fuel should be enough, but I'm going to put enough in there for 19 or 20. So yeah, this will be my first special. This will be my first not special event, but my first advanced race for the So practice is going to be 8 minutes. Qualifying is going to be 10 minutes, and then the race itself is going to be 35 minutes. So as far as practice goes, I'll probably only do 2 or 3 laps, and just to get warmed up, and then we'll get serious during qualifying. So now that I've made it into the gold, now that I've got a gold license or gold safety rank, it should be easier for me to finish one race and then jump right into another. Because I either want to do GTE races or mixed races. Because basically the Corvette is my car. So we're gonna have to back out so we can join the event. So I hope everybody is having a good Friday. I know I am. Getting hungry too. So after this event, I think I'm going to make a Philly steak and cheese sandwich. Sounds good. I think I'll have 2 of them, in fact. So, car setup. Oh, they got a free Coach Dave setup in here? Well, let's see what this Coach Dave setup does. And I will tell you that the hypercars in this
all clear on pit exit.
game are,
Disengage limiter. You've got cold brakes all round.
they are kind of tough to drive.
Air and track temps are falling. Air temp is now 18. The track temperature is now 29 Celsius. Yellow flag sector 2. Looks like P2's gone off. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes left. It looks like Jess has gone off. Sector 2 is now green.
Somehow, I've got the feeling that I think I'm going to have to go with medium tires. Because what I'm worried about, going with soft tires, I'm worried about them wearing out, and I don't know it because I don't have a HUD in the car with me and I can't see the tire wear. So if the crew chief engineer doesn't keep me posted on my tires, not only that, with this being a 35-minute race, I don't want to make any stops.
There's a car leaving the pit lane. Sector 2 is now yellow.
God, this is practice.
Looks like P6 has gone off. Green flag, Sector 2.
Oh, and he crashed!
Incident in Sector 1. Sector 1 is yellow.
Oh, his car is destroyed. He doesn't have a back tire.
Green flag, Sector 1.
Type car.
The leader has just done a 2:17.91. 2 minutes to go, 2 minutes. Yellow flag. We think that Cassie has gone off. Green flag, Sector 2. The guy in front has just done a 2:18.34.
Lap 2:29.
P5. Yellow flag, Sector 1. It looks like Reich has binned it. Sector 1 is now green. That's the end of the session. P5.
Arg. All right, this is quali. Let's go. Wait a minute. This is quali and they letting other cars on the track? Okay, this must be the advanced part because normally in the beginners in the beginners class, you're the only car on the track, so there's nobody.
Your exit is clear. Watch the white line. Limiter's still on. Disengage it. We've got 9 minutes to get the job done. We've got cold brakes all round. Be careful. Clear left.
What are you doing?
Great Tantrum said, "What's up, buddy?"
Hey Tantrum, how you doing?
Yellow flag.
You doing good, my friend? Boy, these hypercars are charging in here. Come on, dude, you in a hypercar, move it!
Great Tantrum
Green flag, sector 2.
said, "This the new sim."
It is my favorite sim, sir.
Right side's clear.
This race is going to be tough.
Clear left. Track limits, this lap will be deleted.
And that's going to be a negative mark for my driver safety rank. I think the hypercars just made the decision much
Yellow
easier.
flag, sector 2.
This race, I'm going to go with the medium tires if they'll let me.
We think Cassie has spun off.
Great Tantrum
Green flag in sector 2.
Can you believe it that LeMans Ultimate is going to be playable on the PSVR 2?
I don't look at it like that. I don't look at LeMans Ultimate as going to be playable on PSVR 2. I look at it as the PSVR 2 headset can now be used on the PC. Somehow Sony has used the Jedi mind trick and made PSVR 2 owners feel
Yellow
like
flag
they
in
can
sector
now
1.
play PC games when all they had to do was just
It looks like Max has stacked it. Sector 1 is clear.
all they got to do is just have a headset. You know, they didn't have to wait until PSVR 2 became compatible with PC to play PC games. I mean,
Great
somehow-
Tantrum said, "I'm kidding."
Okay, sorry, Tantrum.
The leader's just done a 220.26.
However, I did test my PSVR 2 on PC yesterday.
6th place.
I was not able to get an adapter, but I was able to use my 2070 GPU that I had laying around because it has a USB-C.
The leader has just done a 218.27. Yellow flag in sector 1.
Experience was not good.
We can see Sun has stacked it. Incident in sector 2. Yellow flag. Sector 1 is green.
Great Tantrum,
Green flag in sector 2.
but it is nice there is a choice to use PSVR 2 on PC.
Absolutely. I was just blown away by like how many Twitter posts that I've seen where people like, oh my God, now I can play, now I can play games on PC. I'm like, you always could. I mean, they act like Sony held them back from being able to play games on PC.
Yellow flag sector 3. Green flag in sector 3. We think P2's binned it.
Great Tantrum said, "Right."
The other part that kills me is when PSVR 2 first launched, PSVR 2 owners criticized how much it costs to get into VR. You know, talking about, oh, you got to build a $2,000 PC and you got to get a $500 headset, yada, 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 yada. So if you include the price of the adapter, you are using a $600 headset.
Said, I think what it is now, PSVR 2 is the affordable OLED VR headset.
It is not.
The colors and contrast.
It's only affordable for as long as it's on sale. Now, when PSVR 2...
The car ahead has just done a 220.14. That's your best lap in this session. Your last lap time was a 221.46.
Now, when PSVR 2 goes back to regular price, and then you factor in the cost of the adapter, plus the cost of a display cable, you're looking at over $600 for that headset. And so PSVR 2 owners were screaming, oh, you need a $2,000 PC, you know, oh, you need a $800 headset and all this shit. And now that PSVR 2 is available on PC, those same people are jumping up and down like, oh, I'm gonna build a PC so I can use my PSVR 2 headset.
Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go. Sector 1 is 0.7 off the pace. Gonna invalidate this lap, track limits.
I'm all over the place now.
Blue flag.
I'm sitting here thinking you always could. They weren't held back.
Blue flag. Yellow flag, sector 2. Sector 2 is clear.
Yeah, all those people that were jumping up and down talking about how PSVR 2 gives you PC quality VR without the PC VR price. And now it's
Sector 3 is yellow.
PC. These same people are jumping up and down like I'm seeing
Incident in sector 1, yellow flag.
I'm seeing people showing screenshots of the parts that they ordered for the PC that they're going to build to be able to use PSVR 2 on PC. You always could do it.
Great tantrum. Said, well, as nice the Quest 3 is. The PSVR 2 is OLED and can now work on both PC and PS5.
That's inconsequential to me because, like this Quest Pro that I'm wearing, it's focal dimming, so it has blacks that are comparable to OLED panels. So
Sector 2 is now yellow.
the suspect tracking of PSVR 2 on PC, if someone were to ask for my
Green flag, sector 2.
if someone were to ask
That's
me
the end of the
what I
session,
think,
B6.
I would recommend that they get a Quest 3 because the tracking is proven. I would rather take the Quest 3 with the pancake lenses. Now, everybody generally agrees that the Quest 3 is sharper than PSVR 2 because of the pancake lenses. That being said, I would take the sharpness of the Quest 3 over the OLED panels of the PSVR 2 every day of the week. Especially with me being a sim racer, the sharper the image is, the more it helps me in judging how to take corners. Because if the corner looks all smudged and blurry and stuff like that, then it clouds my judgment on how to take corners. So I would rather take the Quest 3 in the interior of this car be charcoal instead of a black, instead of a pure black, versus if I'm on PSVR 2, this dashboard is going to be pitch black because of the OLED panels, but the environment isn't going to be as sharp.
Miguel said, hey bud, check this link. I have been messing around with OBS and image stabilization, is a game changer for streaming in VR. Let know if you interested. I can share the link on how to it.
I never really had streaming problems. When I had the 12900K in this PC, this PC could handle all the workload by itself. But now that I switched over to the 7800 X3D, I've gone back to the two PC setup.
Lap 2, 23.88.
So I'm gaming on this PC, and then I have the streaming PC in the next room. So yeah, I'm not.
Great tantrum. Said. You have to factor in that Quest Pro / Quest 3 compress PC VR images and uses more power resources.
This is true.
PSVR 2 is native DisplayPort. No compression.
But even with the compression, I'm still getting a sharp picture. It still runs buttery smooth because the 4090 gives me that type of overhead. So now the performance was the reason that I was actually going to get the Pimax Lite because of the DisplayPort connection, but Pimax has been bullshit.
Formation lab has started.
Basically with Pimax, they bit off more than they could chew. They took orders that they knew they wouldn't be able to deliver them on time. And so
Miguel said, no, what I mean is for you audience image stabilization is less shaky for viewers.
Oh, most of that is from me moving my head around, and the other thing is I can go into the in-game setting and change the horizon where I can lock it to the horizon. So I've yeah, people have talked about that for a couple of years, but I've always left it like that for the immersion, for the realism.
Green. Carla, clear left. Clear left.
Tantrum said, did you run the PSVR 2 at the highest resolution and anti-aliasing settings?
Well,
and you feel Quests still have the edge?
To be fair, I did all this stuff on the 2070 because I wasn't able to get a PSVR adapter. So I tested it on a 2070, which is a pretty weak GPU by today's standards.
Kirsch is leading the race.
Great tantrum said, oh okay.
So I'm still up in the air, like right now.
Great tantrum said, yeah, get the adapter when you can and see how it does on your 4090.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Starting to get away.
Great Tantrum. Said. The adapter with your 4090, then you can really compare.
Yeah. Where I'm at right now, I'm leaning towards not picking up the adapter because performance isn't going to be an issue because I have enough overhead to run both the Quest Pro and the PSVR 2 and my PSVR and my Quest 3 for that matter. I have enough overhead to run them all at 90 frames per second with no issues. In fact, last week I was doing some benchmarking on F124 and with my Quest 3, and I was able to run that at ultra settings at 3300p at 111 frames per second. That was at ultra settings. Then I took it down to medium settings, and I was running, not medium, I took it down to high settings, and I was running it at a locked 120 frames per second at 3300p. So performance, I got enough overhead for the performance. The reason why I'm pretty sure that I'll still pick the Quest 3 or the Quest Pro over PSVR 2 is the pancake lenses, because it'll no doubt give me a sharper picture. That's been the general consensus among everybody that's been comparing the PSVR 2 to the Quest 3.
Sector 2 is clear. The car in front is Sun.
Miguel said, "Trust me, take a look after. When you are in VR you don't notice, but watching a footage in VR is unconformable for most people. You still have the immersion, but movement is more smooth."
Right, I get that, and that's why I was saying that, like ACC for instance, people complained about that, so I went into the settings and turned the head shaking down a little bit. So it was at a happy medium where it was where I was
Yellow flag,
immersed,
caution.
but people were no longer complaining about it. Just about every racing sim that has VR support has that feature within the settings where you can lock it to the horizon
You're running last.
in order to reduce the shaking. And even if I decide to stabilize the picture, for some people, just the simple fact that it's in VR is enough to turn them off, because some of them don't even like the looking around.
The gap to Sun ahead is now 15 seconds.
Miguel said, "My main sim is ACC, but locked to horizon is no in VR for me."
Yeah, I've been doing ACC in VR, jeez, going all the way back to the Oculus Rift S. I think I've been pretty much doing ACC in VR ever since the game launched. So, I mean, like VR sim racing, I've been doing VR sim racing. If you go all the way back to Drive Club on the original PSVR 1, I've been doing sim racing in VR since like 2017.
Miguel said, "The link that I send you is ACC."
was 223.21. That's your quickest lap.
Well, these medium tires, it's showing how much of a compromise they are.
The gap to Sun ahead is now 16 seconds.
I think I'm dead last. I spun out twice. I can tell you this though, if I would have been on soft tires, I would have a flat spot by now.
Miguel said. Also I have same rig as you 4090 and a Quest Pro running at 900 and code you have almost no compression. Gaming Legends said. Memories of the couch, Will, and PSVR.
Gaming Legends, how you doing? Yeah, the good old days when I used to stream from the couch. But Miguel, as far as the encode bitrate, I've got it set to 700. I know people have taken it up to 900, but I chose to set it at 7. So the compression that people talk about, if they're talking about artifacting and stuff like that, I see absolutely nothing. I am getting a clear picture and it's running buttery smooth.
That's your fastest lap.
2.54.
That wasn't good.
The gap to Sun ahead is increasing. It's now 17 seconds.
Miguel said. I'm so spoiled with foveated rendering and eye tracking which PSVR 2 don't have right now working at the moment.
Well, that's the other thing. Using the OpenXR toolkit, some games, now any game that I use, any game that I play, that the OpenXR toolkit works on, the eye tracking works as well. But I chose to turn off the eye tracking because these pancake lenses make the picture so sharp that I really don't feel like I need the eye tracking. Now, I do know that it saves resources by making everything outside of what you're looking at. You know, it breaks it down a little bit. So that part I do understand, but the reason why I stopped using the eye tracking, especially relative to ACC, is that the eye tracking was causing the game to crash. So I would finish a race, and then I would leave the race, and while the screen was loading to take me back to the main menu, the game would crash. So I stopped using the eye tracking, but I was only having that problem with ACC. Any other game that supported the OpenXR toolkit, where I was able to use the eye tracking, I wasn't having that problem. So this game right here,
Sector 1 is yellow.
2.77.
in particular,
Looks like P5's binned it.
through super sampling, I'm running this.
Green flag in Sector 1.
Said. Yeah.
So through super sampling, I'm running this game at 3000p. The graphical settings, I tested it on Ultra and it ran okay. So I took it down to high and tweaked a few other things. And then something else to take into consideration is depending on what your graphical settings are, that's going to determine how many cars.
The gap to sun ahead is increasing. It's now 18 seconds.
So with my current settings right now, I think there are 25 visible cars. So if I were to take that down, then yeah, I could, you know, allocate the free resources.
You're being caught by the faster class cars.
Oh shit, the hypercars are already here.
Blue flag. Right side's clear. Clear right. Blue flag. Clear right. Blue flag.
These hypercars are coming.
There's a faster class car approaching.
That time was a 2:25.22.
P6. That's 20 minutes to go, 20 minutes. Blue flag.
Great tantrum. Said. So, the word of the day is PSVR 2 was too expensive as PS5 don't have the games. But now it is cheap because it's now on PC.
Matter of fact, again,
The car behind's a faster class.
when you factor in the adapter as well as the display cable, PSVR 2 is $100 more than the Quest 3. And
We're halfway home. We're okay on fuel. The gap to sun ahead is now 17 seconds.
and it's not a standalone product, so if you want to use it on PC, you need a PC. If you want to use it on PS5, you need a PS5. Whereas the Quest 3, it is a true 2-in-1 headset. You can use it on PC, or you can use it as a standalone headset. And, you know, there's thousands of games in there.
Good lap. That's your best in the session.
Here come the hypercars again.
We're halfway home. There's a faster car approaching.
Great tantrum. Said. Quest 3 plus a link cable or a Wi-Fi dongle to use on PC.
Yeah, a Quest 3 plus a link cable and a dongle. $60
Great
for
tantrum.
the adapter.
Said. Factor in Wi-Fi and or link cable on top of the cost of a Quest 3.
The gap to Sun in front is now 17 seconds.
And then that's the other thing. You don't have to use a link cable with the Quest. You can still play games wirelessly. And AirLink and Virtual Desktop have come far enough along. The latency is comparable to using a cord.
Incident in Sector 1, yellow flag.
That time was a 2:23.47.
Now I admit I do choose
15 minutes left, that's 15 minutes.
I do choose to use the link cable because I don't want the added weight of Virtual Desktop on the PC, because like in the beginning Virtual Desktop was a resource hog. It would take
Great tantrum. Said. AirLink is good, but I hear Virtual Desktop is better, but Virtual Desktop cost money.
Yeah, it's only $15, at least that's what it was when I bought it. The problem, like when I first tried Virtual Desktop, it wasn't what it is now. It was a resource hog. Just firing up Virtual Desktop would take up 50% of your graphics card. Just opening up the app. It doesn't take up near that much now, but I'm at the point where I still feel like wireless still takes up more resources than a cord. And I tried it, Virtual Desktop.
The gap to Sun ahead is now 14 seconds.
Couple of years I came back to it and tried it last summer, and my sim racing games ran good enough, but the sim racing games were already, demanding as it is. And so I think the added weight of Virtual Desktop, despite how little resources it takes, it still was an added weight onto the computer.
Time 2:22.53.
That's good consistency, keep it up.
As far as PSVR 2 goes, because that adapter makes it a direct display connection, I'm willing to concede that it's going to take up less resources than this Quest Pro. But again, the 4090 gives me quite a bit of overhead regardless of what headset I'm using. That being said, I would rather take the sharpness of this Quest Pro with the pancake
Blue
lenses.
flag.
And then again, because this is local dimming,
There's a faster class car behind. Incident in Sector 2, yellow flag.
That hypercar just wiped out. I wouldn't be surprised if he blames me
Great
for
tantrum.
it. Shouldn't have been charging
Said.
in.
Although the Quest 3 or Pro have better lenses, some people still prefer the colors and the contrast of OLED despite it is Fresnel. I guess it depends what you want.
Yeah, and again, I think the colors of this Quest Pro is actually pretty good. So, but when it comes to these sim racing games, blacks and colors is not my primary concern. Sharpness is. I need to see as much as possible. If I go around a corner and there's a slight dip in that corner, I need to be able to see it.
Clear left. The gap to Sun ahead is increasing. It's now 16 seconds.
That time was a 2:23.3.
Great tantrum. Said. Local dimming is nice but could introduce blooming.
You know, I guess at the end of the day, it still comes down to preference, like you said. Now, going back to when I tested PSVR 2 on my PC yesterday, on one of my PCs, using the 2070.
10 minutes remaining, 10 minutes. Keep digging, this isn't over yet.
Great
The
tantrum.
blacks,
Said. It would be nice if local dimming is there on the Quest 3 Lite.
Green flag in sector 3.
I mean, I don't really see them doing something like that because it would be an added cost. And the bottom line is, the only thing that separates the Quest 3 from the Quest Pro is no eye tracking, no face
Incident
tracking.
in sector 3. Sector 3 is yellow.
Probably with the controls too, because those controllers for the Quest Pro are pretty expensive.
Green flag sector 3.
Because they have cameras on them too. So as far as SS goes,
The next car is Jess.
with inside-out tracking, I think everybody agrees that the Quest Pro undeniably has the best tracking.
That's half fuel. You've used half your fuel.
That time was a
P5.
2:24.
Jess, behind, is pitting now. You're reeling, Sun, in. The gap is 17 seconds.
Oh, his tires must be starting to wear out. Unless he went off the track.
Great tantrum. Said. I saw something that Meta is releasing or is released that help with Quest 3
There's some
contrast.
faster cars approaching. They're fighting
Do you
for
hear
position.
anything about
The
that?
group includes the class leader.
1 second, because these hypercars are breathing on me.
Blue flag.
Okay, now I know you were asking me about if I knew that Meta was releasing something to help out with something. Like, I knew that Meta was working on something to help out.
Sector 3 is yellow.
But I can't really remember.
Green flag,
what it
Sector
is.
3. We think P3's binned it.
I might as well have let that hypercar go, because if I would have got in front of him, all he would have did was caught up to me. He might have pushed me out of the way to get past me.
Great tantrum. Said. A contrast enhancer.
Okay. I got this funny feeling Meta might start, they might stop making VR headsets so they can focus on these AR glasses.
That's 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes. Stay calm, keep it smooth.
Being that they licensed out
Past the car behind.
the headset designed to
Blue flag.
third-party publishers. I lost a lot of time letting him get through.
Miguel. Said.
Blue
Great
flag.
tantrum, check this. This is how my Quest Pro looks on ACC, and that's without OpenXR Toolkit and Open Composite.
We just had a warning for cutting the
Great
track.
tantrum. Said. A negative for PSVR 2 is people notice black smear or retention images.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that. Also, people have been complaining about
You're
Mirror
reeling,
too.
sun in. The gap's now 17 seconds.
Yeah, as far as Miguel, as far as OpenXR Toolkit, it doesn't really enhance the picture for me. All it does is it frees up resources, because it takes Steam VR out of the equation. So there are some games where, like, being that this is a Meta headset, there are some games
There's a faster
where,
car approaching. Clear right.
okay, like ACC being an example, you can choose whether to use the Oculus version or the Steam version. If you choose the Oculus version,
Right side's clear.
I may not be able to super sample the resolution is high, but because it takes Steam out of the
Miguel.
equation, it runs better.
Said. Yeah, I heard that too.
So in the case of like this game, which game can I use as an example? Okay, a couple of years ago, F122 is a good example.
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
That game, Steam VR is your only option. That's all to it.
Green flag in sector 2.
But a couple of years ago, F122 did support OpenXR. And using OpenXR takes Steam VR out of the equation, therefore freeing up resources, and the game ran so much better. I mean, but this was, you know, pre 4090 days. I mean, but the 4090 is such a powerful GPU.
Yellow flag.
That
We think Max has binned it.
the 4090 is so powerful that even when I don't use the OpenXR toolkit, I still have plenty of overhead. I still have a sharp picture because
Time to 24.43.
like using this game as an example right now, you know, for the most part, I'm running it at high settings, the resolution at 3026p, I think, to be precise. I could take it up to ultra, but the performance would take a little bit of a hit. It wouldn't be a fluid 90 frames per second. It would get a little bit skittish when I go around corners.
P5.
What the OpenXR toolkit would do for me would be I can keep the same settings and raise the resolution, or you know, I can keep the same resolution and raise some of the other graphical settings, because as a matter of fact, with this game, the OpenXR toolkit, I have run this game as high as 4000p. But the thing about it was, after 3500p, I couldn't really tell the difference. So I couldn't tell the difference between 3500p and 4000p. So I just, like, it didn't make any sense for me to take it that high. I mean, when I did that, I was just doing it to see how high I could take the resolution before I noticed it.
Said, I noticed Steam version of a flight sim I like ran about 20% slower versus the standalone version without Steam.
Green
when
flag
using
sector
VR.
1.
I wonder if that is because of what you're talking about.
Now, a game like Microsoft Flight Simulators, as far as
The
games,
track temperature's decreasing. It's now 24 Celsius.
as far as games that have VR support, Microsoft Flight Simulator is arguably the most demanding game out there. But the OpenXR toolkit, along with DLSS3, if it allows you to use it in VR, free up so much resources.
P5. Okay, that's the end. Good finish, mate. Well done. Okay, pit stop requested.
And that is the
Ryan
race.
Denham said, it's called DCS Digital Flight Simulator.
Oh yeah, I have a DCS.
Pit crew is ready.
I haven't played that in God
Miguel
knows. I haven't played
said,
that in God knows how long.
Man, I don't know what to tell you, but in my case I can notice a big difference in sharpness with OpenXR toolkit.
Oh yeah, no. What I'm saying is that there's definitely a difference in the sharpness with the OpenXR toolkit. What I'm saying is, when I can take the sharpness up to 3500p and still notice a difference, but once I go past 3500p, I don't see the difference anymore. And that could be because of how old I am. You know, I'm 57 years old, and with me being diabetic, my vision goes up and down. Some days things are a little bit blurry. Some days things are fairly sharp. So I do wear glasses underneath this headset, but basically 3500p is the cutoff. I don't see the difference between 3500p and 4000. So in my case, it makes no sense to run it at 4000 because it's taxing the PC even more, but I don't see the benefit from it. I'm not, you know, visually seeing the benefits. I mean, 3500 is already
Ryan Denham
more.
said, oh wow, I never would have picked you were 57, I was thinking like 30 to 40s.
No, I'm an old dude, but I had a baby face for, you know, throughout my 20s. I mean, like when I was 22, I still looked like I was 15. So yeah, the glasses makes me look older, but hey, despite my situation, I think I'm still in fairly good health. But thank you.
Miguel said, "Got you."
So, I mean, if I were to bump the resolution up to 5000p, which I've done that before, and that's when things started chugging and stuff like that. At 5000p, you know you're putting added weight onto the PC, but I didn't see the difference. I didn't visually see the benefits of it. 5000p didn't look any different than 3500p. So at this point, for me, anything over 3500p is just putting unnecessary weight on the computer. So hell, like things as they are right now, F124, I run that game at 3300p, and I can run it at ultra settings because when I did the benchmark, I ran it at ultra settings and it averaged, with the Quest 3, it averaged 111 frames per second. When I took it down to high, it ran at a locked 120, and it ran at a locked 120 at medium, of course. I also came back in, you know what? I'll even show you guys. I'm just waiting for the results. I'll even do a benchmark for you guys on F124 right now. You know, because of OBS, you know, we'll see what my how much it taxes the PC. Even though I'm using the 2 PC setup, I'm using the NDI plugin. Now, with the NDI plugin, it still takes up a little bit of resources because you're connecting 2 PCs. But on the other hand, I'm using the AV1 codec, which frees up a lot of resources. So the AV1 codec was a godsend. I actually gained a point. So expected me to qualify 7th, I did 6th. Expected you to qualify the bottom half of the results. Expected you to finish 7th, you finished 5th. Okay, so all things considered, not too bad. I didn't like having to use the medium tires because I didn't like those lap times. I normally turn in, you know, 220s, 219s with this new format, but my fastest lap on Spa with this Corvette was like 216.9. So yeah, let's jump over to F124. I'm just gonna go over there and do a benchmark and show it to you guys. So with this Quest Pro, it only goes up to 90 hertz. I did a benchmark with the Quest Pro at ultra settings, and I had a locked 90 frames per second, but I did not have OBS and other apps open. It was just strictly the game. So when I go in and do this benchmark, it may not quite, I don't know if it's going to hit 90 at ultra or not, but at high and medium, yes, it should undoubtedly hit a locked 90. It's going to say 89 because it's limited to 90, but you're going to see a locked 89.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
The other thing is I've got the Oculus mirror open. That's how you guys are able to see what I see. Because this game in particular, if I choose to stream it with the game itself as the source, you guys are going to see the game stretched horizontally and it doesn't look good. So I have to use the Oculus mirror in order to stretch it vertically so it, you know, so you guys see exactly what I see.
As a reference, time lap time free air 18.4.
Okay, so yeah, let's do this benchmark. So we'll start with the ultra settings. All right, so we are on ultra. We're on ultra high. Let's benchmark it. Let's see what we got.
Great Tantrum said, "You should get a good performance with the new WRC in VR."
Look how sharp that picture is. It's not even budging. It's up, hit 90, 91. How smooth this runs. How sharp the picture is. On the car.
Great Tantrum said, "You are quiet in this game. Engine overtaking your voice." Miguel said, "Looks nice. Does F124 has same implementation in VR that previous year? Like the head delay floating around feeling, or they fixed that?"
Okay, sorry about that. So let me go into the settings and turn the audio down. But you guys, if you guys were watching the frame counter, look at that right there. Minimum frames 80. Average 90. There was a lock 90 frames. And if you look at the resolution right there, let me get a little bit closer. You guys see the resolution was at 3368p. And again, we were at ultra settings, ultra high. We go in and turn the audio down a little bit. Okay, hopefully that's better. So sorry about that. But it's the point that. So yeah, you guys see that we're on the preset. We're on ultra high, and it ran it at a locked 90 frames per second at 3300p. That is the power of the 4090. Now you see my resolution right here is 3368. It is upscaled. I could take it higher, but what's the point? I mean, I'm getting an incredibly sharp picture at a locked 90 frames per second. Is running buttery smooth. There's no point. There's no point in even going any higher. I mean.
Great Tantrum said, "Clay is here just flexing on us."
Yeah, I guess there's some already
Great
in the
Tantrum
game.
said, "LOL, just messin'."
I got you. So my secondary PC has a 3080 Ti in it, and it handles most of the games. Like most of my sims, it handles most of them. Now, like pure VR games, it can run any game. But the sims, like ACC, then yeah, I gotta tweak it a little bit. But this game, it actually runs this game pretty good too. Let's do a couple of laps. Saudi, I love this track. It's beautiful at night too.
Welcome to one of the fastest races in the entire calendar. So with the race
out of all the races on the calendar, I think this on the F1 calendar, I think this is one of the most beautiful tracks.
Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have
because it's a night race. Now the only and I'm on Ultra. Look at the reflections on this halo. That is the only thing. While I'm looking around, it looks a little bit skittish, but once the race actually gets moving, everything smooths out. Oh shoot, I forgot to turn on my bass shakers.
Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage.
Great Tantrum said, F124 supports ray tracing, but not sure if it can do RT and VR at the same time.
No. The ray tracing is disabled for VR.
Now enabled. DRS enabled.
Great Tantrum said, yeah, I didn't think RT is available for VR. Maybe way too much for today's PC.
Yeah, it is. I think that even in VR, I think this computer would be able to handle it, but I would probably have to turn it down to medium settings.
Tyre condition still looking good.
Great Tantrum Sit. But man, RT in VR would be next level.
Oh,
I love RT.
What I'm looking at right now looks pretty damn good. Because I can see the reflections on the other cars in front of me.
Your front wing's damaged. Expects a lot of understeer unless we replace it.
Some dead last. But I turned up the difficulty because it was getting too easy to beat the PC, to beat the AI.
Great tantrum. Sit. Do you have the new WRC from Codemasters?
No, I do not. One of the reasons why I haven't bought that game is because I don't have the proper wheel for it. And then getting the proper wheel, the WRC, is a peculiar situation right now. Anybody's been following Fanatec, you know they filed for insolvency, which is their version of bankruptcy. So now I guess people like are avoiding ordering stuff from Fanatec because they don't know if the order will get filled.
Sit. Oh yeah, rally wheel.
Because this Formula One wheel ain't going to be a very good wheel to use for WRC. And then my other wheel is the McLaren GT3 wheel.
Great tantrum. Sit. Fanatec in trouble? That's not possible.
Yeah, they're in trouble. I'll explain the Fanatec situation here in a moment if you're not up to speed on what's going on.
Great tantrum. Sit. What happened?
Okay, so
Sorry, guys.
a lot of it started way back last Black Friday.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that. Here come today's...
Okay, give me a second here.
It's been an absolutely wild weekend of...
Okay, so with Fanatec, it started last Black Friday. They had some really good deals. And that's how I got this formula wheel that you see right here. This is normally a $360 wheel. And I got it on Black Friday for $200. And they were basically sold out. And what was happening was they were still taking orders even though they didn't have the wheels. And a lot of people were getting pissed about their orders not getting shipped. And so what Fanatec was doing, it happened to me. They sent out a letter saying that, you know, it got delayed, yada, yada, yada. You have a choice. You can either get a refund or you can wait. And they were saying that if you choose to wait, it could be another month before you get it. And I chose to wait. It came sooner than what they said it would, but it pissed a lot of people off. So much to the point that the Fanatec CEO at the time, Thomas Jackemeyer, did an interview with YouTube Kareth to address, you know, these shipping issues that have everybody pissed off. And he gave the rigmarole, yada, yada, yada. There was a glitch in their system, yada, yada, yada. The bottom line is, in my opinion, Fanatec was so greedy that they were taking orders for a product that they couldn't deliver because the orders outweighed the actual stock that they had. And so, in addition to that, Thomas Jackemeyer spent a lot of money having a new office built, having a new Fanatec facility built, and I guess that like messed up a lot of the finances. And so I think Fanatec tried to go get another loan from the bank, and I think the banks basically said, no, you're going to start paying this money that you owe now. You're not getting any more loans. And I think that they were still trying to get financing, and I think like I think one of the banks that was I think one of the banks that was like looking to refinance them said the only way they would do it is if Thomas Jackemeyer was removed as CEO. So he was voted out as CEO, and you know, so there's like a makeshift management running the company right now. And so where things get dicey is that now there was like kind of like a three-way I want to almost say like a three-way fight. So there's Thomas Jackemeyer trying to get control of the company back. So I guess he got some Chinese investors to back him up to try to get control of the company. And then Corsair, the PC accessory company, they were supposed to be buying Fanatec, and I think they hit a snag somewhere. And I think like the conditions for I think what's happening with Fanatec is they're waiting for, with Corsair, they're waiting for Fanatec to officially go bankrupt and then come in and buy them at a much lower price. And not only that, by buying a company that's bankrupt, you won't have to compensate the shareholders. So anybody who's got money invested in Fanatec, who's got stocks, they just lost their money. That's all to it. So I think what Fanatec did, not Fanatec, what Corsair did to cover themselves, I guess they put a down payment on the company, but as collateral, they hold the name Fanatec. They own the rights to the Fanatec name. So anyone who, if Corsair doesn't buy Fanatec,
Great tantrum. Said, damn it.
Yeah. So if a new buyer comes in and buys Fanatec, they're gonna have to pay Corsair to get the Fanatec name back. So that's where things is at right now. So they filed for bankruptcy. Fanatec is officially filed for bankruptcy. And you know, Thomas Jackemeyer, I don't know where he stands with this. All I know is with his position is that he's still trying to get control of the company back, and he's claiming that he's got investors to back him up and to start paying back some of the money that Fanatec owes these banks, because I guess they owe these banks a lot of money. I think like we might be talking like close to 100 million or something like that. But I think the banks and the shareholders do not want Jackemeyer back in control of the company. So I think they rather Fanatec buy. Corsair. I think they rather Corsair buy the company, but Corsair is basically waiting for it to be officially bankrupt, like I said, so they can come in and buy the company at a much cheaper price, and then they won't have to compensate shareholders. So short story long, all of this is telling people, you know, don't buy anything from Fanatec right now from why all this mess is going on. But I can tell you this right now that like if my Fanatec
Great tantrum said, Fanatec was such a good company. What a shame.
They definitely got good products. I think the biggest problem with Fanatec over the years that people have complained about was shipping and their customer service. But even though Fanatec is going through this bankruptcy shit, if my equipment were to die right now, I would jump on eBay and find some Fanatec equipment secondhand, because Fanatec has...
Miguel said, plus now they have competition they didn't have 3 years ago.
Absolutely, with Moza and Camus, like SimGrid, SimMagic and SimiCube, that's still some expensive shit. But in terms of people competing with them price-wise, there's Moza, there's Camus. Now that Logitech has a direct drive wheel and Thrustmaster, yeah, there's definitely some competition out there. I think there's Asatec. I think they're another company that's competing. And then I think throughout all this Fanatec shit that's going on, I think there was rumors that if Corsair does not buy Fanatec, they could conceivably start their own line of direct drive wheel products. But the reason why I'm sticking with Fanatec is because there's one little feature on Fanatec wheels that I have not seen on any other wheels. And just a minute, I'll see if I can show it to you. Give me a second. Okay, so what I just showed you guys on this McLaren GT3 wheel, because I don't feel like taking this Formula wheel off the base, is these red toggle switches. Nobody else seems to have those. And these toggle switches may not seem to be a big deal, but they are a godsend to me because being that I'm in VR, I can't see the buttons. And when it comes to sim racing, anybody who knows about sim racing knows that traction control, people play with the traction controls. When they get on the straights, they turn the traction control all the way off. And then when they get to the corners, they turn the traction control back on so the car doesn't come loose through corners. And you've got these rotary encoders right here, and it's too much for me to fumble around trying to find these dials while I'm trying to drive with one hand. Whereas with these toggle switches right here, I don't have to take my hand off the wheel. All I have to do is just reach out with my thumb and flick it up for the traction control. So I've got the traction control set at 1, and I want to take it up to 3 when I go through the corners. Boom, boom. Now I'm at 3, and I never took my hand off the wheel. When I get on the straights, boom, 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 and turn the traction control all the way off instead of having to, fumble around and look for dials that I can't see because I'm wearing a VR headset. Same thing, and then this other dial right here, this other toggle switch, I use it for the ABS, so I don't have to fumble around looking for the encoders. So when I want to turn the traction control down to 1 or turn it all the way off, I do the same thing. Boom, boom, boom. The traction control's off. When I get to the corners, boom, 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 I turn the traction control back up to 3 or 4. So because of the way these toggle switches stand out, I don't have to look for it. I just feel around with it with my thumb. I find it and just flick it. So because I have not seen any other wheels with those toggle switches, Fanatec's are the only wheels that I've seen with those toggle switches. Therefore, if my equipment takes a dump today, I will be jumping on eBay looking for another Fanatec wheel and looking for another Fanatec base. So I may not try to buy anything from Fanatec directly, but I am willing to go on eBay and get it secondhand. So now, if I didn't race in VR and I could see what I was doing on the wheel, then yeah, I would consider another brand, but to my knowledge, Fanatec's are the only wheels that I've seen that had those toggle switches on there. So that being said, I'm chained to Fanatec for as long as I choose to race in VR. And so what time have we got here? I know I've been on for a few hours. Jeez, it's already 4 o'clock. So I think it might be time for me to hang it up. I'm getting hungry. Thank you so much, everybody. I enjoyed the conversation with all of you. As far as tonight goes, I don't know if I'll do another stream tonight. But if I don't do another stream tonight, one way or the other, I'm still planning to do a GT7 stream in the morning.
Great Tantrum said, that is special.
So yeah, I definitely need those toggle switches. I can't believe the other brands haven't thought of that. And then the Formula wheel here, and then this wheel doesn't have it, but the Formula wheel I also have it rotary encoders right here on the side, along with the toggle switches, and then it's got rotary encoders down here. So I mean, like this Formula One wheel that I use has got so many buttons, and then it also has the vibrating motors in the wheel too. So not just in the wheelbase, but the Formula wheel that I have here also has vibrating motors like down here in the corners, along with the V pedals.
Miguel said, check the video I sent you.
Okay. I'm assuming you sent it to me either through the Discord or through Twitter.
Great Tantrum said, other wheels have multiple paddles. You could toggle traction control on them.
You make a good point there, because this wheel has 2 sets of paddles, right here and right here. But what I don't want to do is get confused when I mean the downshift and then I accidentally hit the traction control paddle. So when I was using this McLaren wheel, these bottom paddles, I wouldn't even use them. These bottom paddles on this McLaren wheel is actually meant for people who don't have the use of their legs. So these bottom paddles, by default, this bottom paddle is the brake, and this right paddle is the throttle. But I don't have that with this Formula wheel. It doesn't have a second set of paddles on the bottom. So, but I would prefer to use the toggle switches anyway. But that's, the Fanatec wheels got so many buttons that, there's a button to allocate just about everything that I want to do on the wheel. But I would say that the 4 things that's important to me is traction control, anti-lock brakes, the engine mapping, which I don't use it that much unless it's an emergency. When I see that I'm running low on
Great
fuel.
Tantrum said, all right, Clay. See you around.
All right, appreciate it, Tantrum. So that's gonna go ahead and do it for me. Appreciate everybody popping in, and so yeah, I'll be planning to do a GT7 stream in the morning. I'm on Eastern time, so it would more than likely happen around the 9 o'clock hour Eastern time, 9 a.m. So I would say match that up with your country's time, and hope to see you then. With that, I'll catch you all on the next one. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate the conversation with everybody. And until then, you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king, and deuces. We'll see you soon, everybody. Have a good one.